Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dian Nurdiansyah. I am from Multimedia and Network Class 3B Evening with the title Character Design. Talking about character design, there is indeed no known pattern definition to clearly explain what character design is. But without us knowing it, our lives are very familiar with the existence of these design characters. Who doesn't know Mickey Mouse, Tom and Jerry, Spider-Man, Si Unyil, Upin and Ipin, and even SpongeBob? Almost all of us know him. Through various media such as films, advertisement, merchandise, and comics, we are bombarded by the lives of these characters, so that they live in our hearts with all the attributes of life they have, both physically and behaviorally. Even though they are not real living beings, but they are capable of being present in our lives. Even most of us don't just know the name of the character, where the character lives, what the job is, and how it is known as if the character is close of friends of ours. In my opinion, regarding the real purpose of studying this character is 1. As a means of training aesthetic sensitivity and visual intelligence. 2. As a means of learning how to change the concept of ideas into image. 3. Widen the perspective on art. This is to change the concept of thinking and the words of art are just painting, sculpture, dance, and music. 4. Express yourself positively. It is difficult to explain definitively about character design, but there are several aspects that can be learned from character design. Namely, character design is a form of illustration that comes with the concept of human being, with all its attributes such as nature, physical, professions, place of residence, and even destiny, in various forms, but it animals, plants, or inanimate objects. Visually, character design is often referred to as cartoon. Usually comes with visuals that are very simple and even seem abstract. Form consists of outlines, the use of solid colors, and the application of forms that tend to be exaggerated, which is intended to communicate the concept of character. It is independent, even relative, depending on the style adopted by the design. And now, basic concept of character. Before creating the visuals, of course, you need to understand the theme and storyline first. What is the character of the characters? What are the scenes in the story? If so, it's time to create a basic concept for your character. Creating a basic character concept is the earliest stage in designing a character design. This step is divided into two, namely in terms of physical and psychological aspects. At this stage, you don't need to create a visual yet. Now, physical concept of character. First, select a character type. First of all, you have to know the type of character you are going to design. Is it human, animal, plant, or some other form? Not at all. Characters have to be human. It all depends on the story you make. Make it could be that he is an extraterrestrial or a sophisticated robot from the future. Even those there are beyond human reason. Give all your imagination and creativity. Look for squids that can grab your audience attention. Here I took the type of character in the form of an insect, namely a cockroach, but I made it look unique so that the audience would not be disgusted by it. 2. Determine the gender of the character. This is very important. You must be clear in determining the gender of the character, namely male or female, so that in the future you will find it easier to determine the body shape, expressions, accessories worn by the characters. Here I use the male gender and make his body look muscular. 3. Name your character. He. What's your character name? Choose a unique name that is easy for your audience to remember. The name is also to be character's background. For example, he comes from South Korea, insert a name or cultural term from there. Here I give my character's name is Cat Wonton because he comes from a fictional city called Wonton and he is the leader of that city. 4. Determine the age. The age of the character will have something to do with the expression, fashion style, and so on. For example, your character is 17 years old. That means he wears the clothes of young people and the character that I created at the age of 25. 5. Determine your height and weight. Height and weight are related to the shape of the character's letter body. For example, he is 160 centimeters tall, meaning you can get an idea when sketching. Character height from one character to another character is certainly different. Don't let character A, which should be shorter than character B, turn out to be the opposite. So the character I made is approximately 10 centimeters height. 6. Skin color is adjusted according to the character's origin. Like humans, the characters you create must have a background. For example, in the story your character comes from Japan, which means that the skin color is more white and pink tone. Because my character comes from a ditch and is a cockroach, so I color him brown. Next is about concept of character from a psychological point of view. If you have discussed it from a physical point of view, now I will discuss the concept of character from a psychological perspective, which is seen from the character and personality. There are generally 3 types of the characterizations, namely protagonist, antagonist, and tritagonist. Example, my character belongs to the protagonist class. He is cheerful, assertive, leader, does not give up easily, and always encourages his friends. This will relate to the expressions, poses, fashion styles, and accessories that the character will wear. For example, you can give her bright clothes, have a smile on her face, and accessories in her style. That's why you need to know how the character and personality are. Actually, there are also creators who enter other identities of characters such as zodiac sign, Shio, and blood type. The more detailed the information, the better it is for character design development. What tools that I use for sketching this illustration? I use tool Huion Inspiro H950p. You have to know, the first time I will tell you about this pen tablet is that the implanted pen technology has increased its level. Wow, yes, Huion this time has used battery-free technology, which previously could only be done by Wacom. What does it mean? Okay, this is important guys. If you are accustomed to using the Wacom graphics tablet, you will definitely be familiar. The pen doesn't need to use a battery, right? It's powerless. Compared with the other pen tablet technologies, we still have to provide a battery, or at least the pen still needs to be charged. Well, in this series, Huion has started to tidy up so that the pen has been upgraded. For your information, Huion has also used the same technology for the H940p and H430p types. The second is pressure sensitivity. Really good. 8000. Yes, more precisely 8192 levels. Throughout the journey of my life, even though it hasn't been very long, this is the first time there has been a pen tablet with that much pressure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Update. There is now a Wacom Intuos Pro PGH990, but the price is around 5 million. This certainly gives a special meaning for digital art activists. The greater the pressure of graphics tablet has, the better the image precision will be. Software that I use is Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator is a vector graphics design editor application program developed and marketed by Adobe. Illustrator is a vector application that is very popular among graphic designers. This program is popular among graphic designers for the quality of the colors in its output file. Illustrator is able to display CMYK print color parameter on an RGB monitor screen that is almost 100% precise with the print results. Meanwhile, in other vector applications, designers need to do a lot of configuration, monitor color management before achieving most precise color in the printout. Now, how do you find your own art style? The most important answer is only one. It's a reference. You can find various kinds of art that you are suitable and want to be able to, then you can follow it. But also try other artists, those who first have a unique art style. Of course, have their own way of drawing and different from each other. For example, each artist has their own way of drawing eyes, mouth, or hair. Take what you like, then look for as many artists' works as a reference. For example, you like artist A's hairstyle but prefer artist B's A style. Look for reference by artist B. How does he draw eyes? How come I really like it? Now you can follow it likewise with artist A's hairstyle. From there, you can learn to combine all the elements you learn into one. Yeah, it turns out to be plagiarism? Not. As long as you take reference from the work of many artists, not just one. And reference is not just a physical image. Paneling, posing, background, coloring, each artist has their own style that you can always learn from. Improv. Generally, no artist can imitate another artist's drawing 100% the same, no matter how good you imitate artist B's eye style. For example, your hand strokes will be different, but that's where you will thrive. That is your personal touch, that is your style. Study and practice. With references, the wider your reference is, the further you progress. You can pause this video to see my sketch that I have made. And need to remember, all of that need a process. The more often you practice, the muscle memory will be formed. The eye shape that 3 years ago looked like was really difficult to make. But with the information of muscle memory, you can draw confidently. The next most important thing is getting started. Many budding artists were too overthinking with their style, afraid of everything, so they wouldn't be able to start their work. So that style is formed from heaps of experience, not something that suddenly appears and immediately find it. I think that's all for my presentation. If you have a question, just put in on my comments. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.